Here's a look at a recap of your markets on this Wednesday, the 10th day of September. After yesterday's technical sell-off on the futures markets, live cattle managed to claw back a little bit and close in the green today. Contracts on the feeders were mixed, but we did avoid those expanded limits, which is sure a positive sign. Cash markets at the sale barns around the state, they have turned slightly lower. Prices, however, still very impressive. Taking a look at the auction today at Windsor Livestock Market, they're not quite done yet as of the recording of this report, probably about 2/3 of the way through the sale. Compared to last week, the steers and heifers being called steady to $15 lower. The steers over 600 up to 750 pounds, and the heifer calves under 600 pounds tend to be holding the market the best today. The buyers are getting more picky, as we've said in the last few reports. Quality and condition making a big difference right now, as well as health programs with the swinging temperatures that we're starting to get into. The steers at Windsor today, medium and large ones, 400 to 500 pounds, 465 to 570. 5 to 6 weights at 422.5 to 487.50. Some 6 to 7 weights at 399.5 to 438. Some 7 to 8 weight steers from 365 to 407.50. The feeder heifers, medium and large ones, a few 4 to 5 weights, 455 to 497.50. Some 5 to 6 weights at 380 to 440. Some 6 to 7 weights, 374 to 394, a few 7 to 725 pound heifers at 358. Box beef cutout values closed lower today. Choice down $2.03 at 405.64. Select down $3.28 at 383.68. Volume 136 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at 21.96. Saw a bit more negotiated feedlot trade develop in the north today, up to 18,759 head of confirmed negotiated sales so far. All of that trade's been in the north. Not a single hoof has moved so far in Texas. I was at 6,554 head. Live sales report from 237 to mostly 240. Dress sales mostly 375, a few up to 382. In Nebraska, 9,590 head so far this week. A handful of live sales have been reported at 238, dress sales mostly at 375. Taking a look at those closing futures markets on the Mercantile Exchange, live cattle for October, 97 cents higher at 231.15. December 232.67 up 150. February 234 up 165. Feeder cattle, September up $1.50, 353.20. October at 350.40 up 47. November 348.27 down 60. Both the Missouri Stocker Formula and the CME Feeder Cattle Index lower today. The Missouri Stocker Formula based roughly on a 550-pound steer through the auction barns in the state of Missouri. That value setting at $431.57. That was down $4.21 from Tuesday. The CME Cash Feeder Cattle Index, based on an 800-pound steer, up through the 12-state feeding region at $365.47. That's down 39 cents from yesterday. Lean hogs for October, 70 cents higher, closing the day at 96.82. December 88.27 up 42. February at 90.22 unchanged. Turning our attention to the grain markets at the elevators around the state on Wednesday, soybeans 6 cents lower, wheat 7 to 13 lower, corn was mixed, 2 lower to 2 higher. Corn bids at the elevators in the St. Louis region, 414, Kansas City at 394. Soybean bids in St. Louis, 997 to 998, Kansas City at 940, and wheat in St. Louis, 453 to 455. On the Board of Trade, corn for September, 4 cents lower, 397 and a quarter. December new crop corn at 417, down 2 3/4. March at 434 and a half, down 3. September beans down 6 at 10.05 and a half. November new crop beans at 10.25 and a quarter, down 6. January 10.44 and 3/4, down 5 3/4. Wheat for September 5 3/4 lower, 4.95. December 5.15, down 5 1/4. March at 5.32 and a half, down 5 1/4. Soybean meal for September down $5.30 a ton at $286.40. Soybean oil for September 52 cents a hundredweight higher at $50.22. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets for Wednesday. This is Tony Hancock.